How you guys doing? Absolutely.
So, Gray, you had a really strong week down at the Senior Bowl. How has that process kind of elevated your game and got your name out there a little bit more going into this process?
Yeah, it was an awesome week down in Mobile, Alabama. Being able to play football again and get back in those shoulder pads was awesome, and I think that's just kind of the ability to go down to an all-star game and play football and kind of showcase who you are as a football player against that elite competition is super important in this process, and the Senior Bowl does it the right way down there, and had a pretty good week.
Great. If you had an opportunity to be drafted by the Lions, there would be a potential that you would maybe have to kind of redshirt that year and flex in and out. Is that something that you're open to doing, or you just want to get out there and start immediately?
Yeah, I think the mindset coming in is you want to learn as much as you possibly can and understand that there's a growth aspect going from college to the NFL. So when you're kind of coming to a new ball club, you want to learn from those vets and try and be the best player you can be and have an impact. And the competitor in me wants to go out there and kind of play right away and start playing football because you never know when this game's going to be taken away from you. So, but understanding there's a process to becoming a good football player in the NFL.
Have you had a chance to formally meet with the Lions this week?
Informally, yes. So was able to meet with their assistant offensive line coach, and it was a good time.
Versatility is obviously.
Yeah, it's extremely critical at the NFL to be able to play multiple positions. At the end of the day, I'm an offensive lineman. It just depends on what hand you put down, what set you take on the position you play, and then if you have to snap the football. So that's the big part about this process is understanding that you never know what position you're going to have to play on any given week, and going out there and just being the best football player you can be is really critical.
In your conversations with teams, has there been a position that really stands out that the pros really feel like you're going to play?
Yeah, I would say offensive line.
Yeah, not tight end?
Yeah, maybe tight end, I don't know. I got pretty good hands, so we'll have to see. Yes, I have, yep. That was a formal interview. It went well. Really kind of got a pretty good buddy down there, so it'd be pretty sweet to meet back up with him. So. 40 times tomorrow. I'm not sure. Hopefully kind of that 4.4, 4.5 range. No, I have no idea. We'll have to see.
If you wound up with Ben Johnson in Chicago, he liked to do all kinds of stuff with Penei Sewell. Do you feel like you could be a quarterback if need be?
Yeah. Well, I played quarterback till the 8th grade year, and then they kind of saw my body frame and said, go have fun on the offensive line protecting people. So I was a pitcher in baseball, so I think throwing a football is kind of a hidden talent of mine, and maybe a team sees that in me.
Have you had a chance to meet with the Chicago Bears?
Yes, sir.
How'd that meeting go for you?
It went well. They're kind of a really talented football team. I love their QB, love watching him play and make plays. I'm training with a buddy who played for him at USC, so being able to watch his highlights and understand how special his talents are is pretty cool.
What was in your pitching arsenal as a baseball player?
Fastball, and maybe like a changeup or a curveball. So.
What was how fast could you throw it?
I could throw it hard enough to get a little bit of chatter, but at the end of the day, it wasn't hard enough to really kind of take baseballs out.
Great. What makes you the best offensive lineman in this class? You're talking about position versatility, also coming from a smaller school. Some people will use that as like a day, what about the competition? What makes you the best offensive lineman in this class?
I kind of got that competition aspect throughout this process, and then going down to the Senior Bowl and having a good week down there is just kind of goes to show that everyone puts on their shoulder pads the same way. Everyone bleeds red. Everyone wears a helmet out on that football field. So if you're a good football player, teams are going to find you, and being able to showcase something like that at the Senior Bowl is pretty critical for me.
Have you spoken to the Steelers about this process?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think probably informally and stuff. So.
Have you talked to Cody about kind of going through this process? What advice has he given?
Yeah, I think talking with Cody about this process is really critical. I love being able to FaceTime him and communicate with him. A lot of the times we don't even talk about football. It's just about the process and kind of the mental well-being as you go through these next few months and understanding that. but he's given me a lot of really good insight on what to expect and kind of how to handle situations.
Do you remember Texas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Greg, what kind of feedback have you gotten from your meetings in terms of where these teams might want to play you?
Yeah, the feedback's been really good. I'm not really sure I can give you a certain position because every single team kind of views me differently. And having that availability is kind of the best ability to have in this process, and understand that I'm an offensive lineman, I'm a football player. It doesn't really matter what position you play, it just matters where you line up, and you're going to have to block somebody at the end of the day.
Do you have a thought as to what your best position on the line in the NFL might be?
Yeah, I'd probably say offensive line. Yeah.
Yeah, so
What was your favorite film study moment where you saw something on tape leading up to the game and it manifested in a really great play for you?
That's a really good question. In the film study process going throughout the week, you try and break down football players, understand defenses, coverages, types of players that you're going up against. And I would say just kind of every week being able to find something about a defensive end or a defense that kind of makes that light bulb in your head go off. And you see something happening before it truly happens is really kind of one of those moments for me that I enjoy playing football.
when you're scouting the other teams, how do you go about scouting yourself through that process?
Yeah, I would say as you scout throughout the week, it's about 80% the other team and 20% a little self-scout. Understand maybe you're doing a tendency that you don't even know about and trying to fix that tendency. Because if you're able to see that yourself as you watch a football game, I'm almost positive defensive coordinators or defensive staff on the other team sees it as well. So kind of doing a self-scout every single week is super important as you move on throughout your career.
How do you go about doing that? Like to play the center position in the NFL, what do you think you'll need to improve on to be able to play that position at a high level?
Yeah, I would say your football IQ. Being a center, you got to get all 5 of the offensive linemen on the same page and understand tendencies of the defense and understand that defenses change week to week, and being able to know what defense does, kind of what their motto is, what type of defense they want to play is super critical at the centerpiece.
Do you think you can be vocal enough and have the right voice? A lot of times you hear from other offensive linemen, he's got to be louder. Do you think you can be that loud guy?
Yeah, I would say that's just part of my personality. I always got in trouble for talking and growing up. I was a social butterfly, so being able to play a center position won't be a struggle for me.